What's going on, everyone? Zoop here, and happy Father's Day. Well, I guess it's a late Father's Day, but for those of you out there who are fathers, happy Father's Day. This, as most of you know, was my first Father's Day ever, and I would have to say it's the best Father's Day I've ever had. Of course, I don't have anything to compare it to, really. But that being said, my wife did some awesome things for me. I just had a really good time, and I'll say that this was probably one of the most enjoyable experiences ever, just having two kids, two amazing babies. It's made me very proud, given me a lot to be thankful for. So, anyhow, this video, it was originally going to start out as one thing, and then it turned into being something completely different. And I did not envision this happening. It just sort of happened due to circumstances. And those circumstances just happened to be the games I was playing. Originally, I wanted to highlight the Yu-Yang in this video, and just how the Yu-Yang has gotten a bit of a buff lately. And what I mean by a buff is, since Wargaming changed all the legendary mods around, the Yu-Yang has found some newfound glory that it once had that kind of disappeared, and now it's back again. And I was very excited to completely kit out my Yu-Yang in a way that felt close to the way it used to play. The legendary mod for it actually helps. You don't sacrifice too much like you did with the other legendary module. I think with that one, if you took the torpedo, whatever it was with the torpedoes, the legendary module, your best concealment was right around 6 or 6.5 kilometers if you wanted to try and play as a torpedo boat, and you had to make a lot of sacrifices to get there. And not so anymore. Not so anymore. The new... is it even called a legendary module anymore? I don't know. The new special module on it allows you to take torpedo reload with very, very minimal sacrifice, to the point that it's almost negligible. So I think I got my torpedoes down to like a minute and 40-second reload, and I didn't have to sacrifice a lot. I think my concealment was 5.6 kilometers or something like that. So I really wanted to highlight that, and that point that yes, it's been buffed. And even older ships like the Gearing too. The Gearing was never really nerfed per se, but things just kind of surpassed it, and it got power crept. And I still think the Gearing is a great ship. But again, the changes to the legendary module, it's made it a much more comfortable ship once again. And it's a downright nasty torpedo boat with 5.6 kilometer concealment, 90-second reload, and the beautiful thing about both ships is you can build them out. They're flexible. You can, kit out the guns if you want to and make them fire a little faster, or you can go the route that I went for both, which was the torpedo route. So my intentions were to highlight the Yu-Yang, and not even the Gearing, which you're watching this gameplay here. However, when I started to play the Yu-Yang, something happened. Something very, very, very bad happened. I couldn't get a good round to save my life. Not at all. I tried my hardest, and those rounds that I used to get in the Yu-Yang were just not happening. Didn't crack 100,000 damage. I got some good torp hits here and there, but I stopped playing because I got so dejected. And I'm like, alright, maybe the Yu-Yang isn't as good as I thought it was going to be with these changes. So I said, alright, maybe I'll change to the Gearing, a ship that I know I always play good with. Always do well in the Gearing. And I started playing rounds in the Gearing, and the same exact thing happened. Couldn't crack 100,000 damage, which to me in a Gearing is a bad game for me. If I don't do that, I feel that I've had a very mediocre game. And these games weren't even mediocre. They were poor. And even after the round you're watching right now, I tried playing again. I played several Gearing rounds to get some good footage to show to you. That cherry-picked 150, 160, 200,000 damage round. While I talked about how awesome the changes are and how these ships have essentially got buffed, and it didn't happen. The last round I played in the gearing of the night, I did 500 damage. And that is what has caused me to change the topic of this video to just how sad I am about the current place destroyers are in right now. And I consider myself a destroyer main. I love destroyers. I play very good in destroyers. I feel I know the majority of them inside out. I'm usually not that scared of radar. I usually don't mind radar the way most destroyer players do. But I think I hit my breaking point tonight with these rounds. I think it got to the point where there's just so much. And I've seen the kind of downward spiral of destroyers. I've seen what other players are going through. You know, I've seen their complaints, and I've seen their misgivings about everything that's happened. And I've taken it in stride. I haven't said, oh, you all are crazy, just get good. Because I know these gripes have been legitimate. But I've always internally tried to struggle through it and think that I could struggle through it. And to a degree I did, and I hit my wall tonight. I hit my breaking point. And I decided that things are just really not in a good state for destroyers. I think the tipping point was, well, maybe it was the last round I had where I only did 500 damage, where, oh, the enemy team had 2 Moskvas, a Stalingrad, they had some more radar. I can't remember what, though. Oh, yeah, they had a Minotaur. And, of course, that Minotaur decided to take radar. So, I literally could not do anything. And it wasn't just that round. All the rounds before it. And it wasn't just the Moskvas that everybody's playing a lot now, because they're premium ships now. The Nevsky. All over the place. All over the place. And if it wasn't the radar, it was an aircraft carrier. And it was a Hakuryu. Beginning of the round. Lost half my hit points to a Hakuryu who hit me with missiles. That set the tone for the entire round. I literally could not catch a break on Father's Day playing this game. In destroyers. I could not. It was the most frustrating experience I've ever had in destroyers. Usually I'll have at least one good round in destroyers. I can't even say I had one good round. It's just the proliferation of radar right now, and these Russian ships with their 12-kilometer radar, it's neutered destroyers. I mean, it's not even fun to sit back and sling 16-kilometer torps, and that's what you're almost forced to do, and you're not guaranteed to hit anything. And, oh, I can't forget about this either, because it's not just the radar ships, but you got a Venezia in there, one broadside, guess what? You've lost 3/4 your health. And that's a worst case scenario, of course, but still, there's just so much going against destroyers right now that this class that I once loved to play is just no longer something I want to play. And I've already lamented about how battleships have seen somewhat of that downward spiral, but I don't even think theirs is as bad as destroyers right now. I mean, really, this game has become World of Cruisers. Cruisers are where it's at. If you're not in a cruiser, you're probably going to get melted or radared or something else, unless you're playing a carrier. And if that's the case, then you just sit in the back with mere impunity and can do whatever you do. And you're either going to help your team or you're going to help yourself. And that's just how it goes. But yes, tonight I hit the wall with destroyers. I had just one of those nights, my breaking point. This was the straw that broke the camel's back, to the point that I don't even think I want to play tier 10 destroyers anymore. I don't think I want to play them again. And I've noticed my gameplay has just been, you know, going from playing really well in them to just the point where I feel like I can't do anything in them. And yes, I probably could play more cautiously. I could be a little more sneaky. I could use the islands, but sometimes I just don't have the patience for that. And I really like being in the open water spotting for my team, because that's the most important thing a destroyer can do. Keep enemies spotted, but, you know, when you're trying to spot a ship using your 5.6 concealment, and you don't see any other ship around, and all of a sudden you get pinged from 12 kilometers away because a stupid Russian ship with Russian radar just decides to pop his stuff trying to get something over in the sea cap when you're in A or B or wherever. Yeah, what's the fun in that? You're getting accidentally radared. It's just no fun anymore to play destroyers in the high tiers. It's for masochists. If you like self-torture and self-pain, yeah, play destroyers in high tiers, but I don't think I can do it anymore. I think I'm going to go back to the Des Moines or something like that. Which, yes, I know Des Moines has been power crept by other ships, but I still think Des Moines is probably one of the best ships in the game. And that might just be my personal preference to USN ships, but it's still a great ship. And I enjoy it, and I know I'll survive a little better than that than in a destroyer. I don't know why anyone would want to play a destroyer anymore, myself included. I know this sounds down, but it just sapped the will out of me. It was just that bad of a night. And yeah, I'll try and play some more, and if things change, I'll update you. But right now, there's just too much radar. There's just way too much radar, and too much radar that lasts forever and goes forever. So yeah, I was hoping to give you a positive video on awesome changes to the Yu-Yang gearing. However, death of the destroyer instead. Yeah, once again, hope you had a great Father's Day for all you fathers out there. Even for those of you fathers out there that don't have babies, for those of you with fur babies, give them a kiss or let them kiss you. And I'll catch you all later. Zoop out.